what would you like to do next? Do you want to do your thing, or do you want to?
Let's do my thing. I'm feeling a little scattered, so I think, Jay, maybe just one more.
Yeah, let's just do one more. I'm completely oblivious to what Sarah's about to now bring.
Well, it's not a big gotcha. This isn't a gotcha. But I feel like since we're doing this podcasting again and we're trying to do it weekly, we could do something that carries over to another week. So I would like to talk about what we're doing today. And what are we doing today, Theo?
Oh, so today we're going to watch, so I have never seen Showgirls, and it is infamous for being bad. And I remember, I think it's Siskel of Siskel and Ebert, who said something like the main character is hard in the face or whatever.
It's pretty bad. It is kind of problematic.
Yes, poor Siskel is not, he was a man of his times, I guess.
Siskel, that poor actress.
It's
pretty nasty what he says. It's not a good look.
Yeah, it's not. Siskel was a man of his times.
Siskel was my favorite, but I'm not going to be apologist for him in this case. I don't think it's really a great criticism.
No. So it's infamous for being Showgirls is infamous for being a bad movie. Mm-hmm. There's a documentary that just came out that's available virtually streaming somewhere, which reminds me, Ganja, it's too late now, whatever. I have to remember to talk about where things can be streamed. But You Don't Know Me is available virtually if you stream it through like your local independent art house or something like that. And it's about Showgirls. I don't even know what it's about, but I saw it and I read the line, the first couple lines. I'm like, oh, this actually sounds kind of interesting. And I've seen many video essays going by on how bad Showgirls is or how it's worth re-looking at or whatever. And I'm like, okay, this is just enough of a cultural phenomenon. And I'm trying to expand my horizons in all directions, which includes bad movies, which I'm not as into as you. So we are doing a double feature of Showgirls and You Don't Know Me, which is N-O-M-I. N-O-M-I, not Know Me. N-O-M-I, the name Know Me. Anyways, that's what we're doing today.
So I'm looking forward to this. I mean, you're also watching Showgirls just so you can watch this documentary. I think there might be an LGBTQ AI plus tie-in, because I think possibly that's where it's gotten some of its cult following. I could be wrong. I will apologize if I am wrong. But I know that some different services it's Pride Month, and some services are trying to incorporate that into their lineups.
Yesterday was a bunch of emails about Pride Month.
Yeah, no, it's great. I mean, I personally appreciate that because sometimes I don't know where to look. So it gives me a jumping off place. So we're going to do that. How well do you know the work of Paul Verhoeven, director of Showgirls?
So I know that he's kind of, he's, depending on who you talk to, he's either a weird director of odd movies, or he's an auteur who's been working in and out of Hollywood for a number of years. His filmography is bizarre. I was much too young when I saw Starship Troopers in theaters, and I remember just thinking it was bad, and I need to rewatch it because I now understand that it's supposed to be satire, and I just didn't get that at the time because I was too young. And I've seen RoboCop, which is also Verhoeven, and I keep meaning to see that movie that you wanted me to see that came out like a year or two ago. That was Verhoeven. L. And I think that's what I've seen of Verhoeven. It's just RoboCop and Starship Troopers when I was too young. And I like RoboCop. That's great. RoboCop is great.
He had kind of an interesting streak in the late 80s to 90s. He did, so he's originally from the Netherlands. There's none of these Dutch shorts or anything are familiar to me. Mm-hmm. Then there's some movies with English titles that The Fourth Man, Flesh and Blood, Deadly Nightmares is a TV series. Don't know anything about it. Then we get to RoboCop, which I have also seen. I did not see until more recently.
Same.
But I have seen it. Total Recall, which I have seen. Have you not seen that? Basic Instinct, which I have seen. You've not seen it? Showgirls, which I have seen. You have not seen it. And Starship Troopers, which I have seen. No, which is the one I haven't seen. Sorry, but you have seen. So that's like 5 in a row. And I have wondered if some of the mythology behind Showgirls is because of that reframing of Starship Troopers, where people are like, you didn't get it. And I think Verhoeven himself has said, like, people didn't get Showgirls. You know, they didn't get Starship Troopers. But I'm not sure that's really fair when it comes to Showgirls, because it's pretty bad. It's really pretty bad. And then he has some other movies, and I've seen Elle of that group. So I've actually seen more Verhoeven than I even realized. And I actually don't know much about his, like, I think there is film critique and theory that kind of covers him, but I don't personally know it that well. But it is interesting that he has kind of that streak of kind of RoboCop, Total Recall, Basic Instinct, Showgirls, Starship Troopers is kind of an interesting, it obviously kind of.
Yeah.
But I feel like we still talk about all those films but we still talk about Showgirls too. It's just not the same way we talk about RoboCop and Total Recall.
Yeah, I was going to say, those are all movies that are well known and still talked about, at least, especially if you're of a certain age. But like that, just in the YouTube stuff I see, like those movies go by, like people talk about them, which is interesting. I feel like this is another one. You're making me think about, there's Spike Lee. There's a Q&A with Spike Lee through the American Cinematheque in LA, which a virtual Q&A, which we want to watch. And much like Verhoeven is somebody who I'm not up to my snuff on, Spike Lee is somebody I'm like not up to my, I don't know Spike Lee's movies as well as I should, which is at the moment more noticeable than it might usually be.
Yeah.
And so I'm making a commitment to myself to watch Do the Right Thing next week before the Q&A, and
which I like to think is Do the Right Stuff, which would be actually a hybrid of The Right Stuff and Do the Right Thing, and it would be about astronauts getting really hot in New York while racist tensions flare. It would be an interesting. But I have seen Do the Right Thing, but I agree. I have also the need to make sure that I am well versed in minority cinema, with an emphasis even on African American cinema. It feels a little more urgent right now, and it's something I always wanted to do. So it's not.
Well, it's like The Watermelon Woman. I've been wanting to watch for a month anyways, and it just became more. It's that thing where it's in the zeitgeist, yeah. And it's like I've always want to watch these movies, and I always make an effort to see these. It's just, I guess thinking about it
it's
more.
It's exciting too, though, that they're more discoverable now. That Criterion Collection.
Yeah, they're free to watch and stuff. I want you to watch Selma too, but.
Yeah, but it just because it can be hard to find these things when no one's talking about them, and finally people are talking about them.
Yeah.
I also would like to watch more Spike Lee, and in fact, it's interesting you say that, because didn't he do a remake of Ganja and Hess?
He did a remake of Ganja and Hess, which I think is called The Sweet Blood of Jesus.
Yeah, I think maybe that's a double feature to do, actually, would be to watch his version and then rewatch Ganja and Hess. Might be the thing to do.
That might be fun.
Paul Verhoeven has not been ignored and erased by society, I would not say. No. So don't mistake that for what we're talking. And you're just saying, I feel like what you're actually saying is there are these gaps in your knowledge. And he is one of them.
Verhoeven is one of them, and Spike Lee is one of them. And actually, Spike Lee is one of the only Black directors who isn't really pushed to the side as much as a lot of Black creators are. Like when you ask somebody to name a Black director, he is probably going to be one of the only ones people.
He's going to be the one people probably know,
right?
Which is terrible,
right?
Which is not a good thing. It's bad.
It's bad, but he's weirdly one of the only ones people know more prominently. He won his first Oscar like last year, which a lot of people consider to be a certain kind of travesty. And I don't care about the Oscars, but it's that kind of, like, people don't give him as much credit probably as he should get. Anyways. But so I'm going to watch to follow up on discussing what we're watching today, I'm also going to try and watch Do the Right Thing. And I think Crooklyn is one that I've heard people really like.
Yeah, I think that's on my list.
Yeah, maybe we'll do some of those tomorrow or something. But yeah, so there's that. And then Losing Ground is one I want to try and watch next week. So,
well, I think we're going to try and watch his new film, Spike Lee's new film. Oh
yeah, we're going to try and watch it, which is actually Da 5 Bloods, I think. Which makes it sound similar to the Sweet Blood of Jesus, but it's not quite the same. But yeah, we're going to try and watch that.
He won an Oscar last year? Why can't I remember that?
Screenwriting for BlacKkKlansman.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Or I guess, was that this year? I guess that was this year for last year?
In 2019, he received his first Best Picture and Best Director nominations and went on to win Best Adapted. So that was 2019.
Got it.
I don't know. It's all a blur. It's all
a blur. Things are a blur right now. Anyways, that is our weekly. Let's call this our weekly wrap up. Our weekly wrap up session. Looking ahead to what we're gonna do. Is there anything else you're gonna watch that's on your mind to watch next week? Or?
I'm, the ones I'm trying to catch up on. Like, I want to watch. I'm thinking of watching that Harry Belafonte noir.
That I've seen
with my Harry Belafonte kick that I'm on.
Yeah. Odds Against Tomorrow for those listening.
Yeah, I had some other things on my list. Oh, there is some Louis Buñuel that's leaving the Criterion soon, so I kind of want to.
Yeah, I need to watch The Discreet Charm of the Bourgeoisie because that's leaving soon, and then all my noirs, my Columbia noirs, are leaving at the end of the month too. So I need to do those. So I mean, I've still got a few weeks, but
yeah, I have a long list, and
we both have long lists.
Get to what I can when I can.
Yeah. Anyways, thank you everybody for listening. This has been fun. I think I'm still 2 behind on these. I don't know. It doesn't matter to anybody. This will get released someday. Thank you all for listening.
Bye.
Bye.